Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining me for another video. As always, a free way you can support the channel is to, alright, I'm going to be one of those guys. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment what you had for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But anyway, let's move on. So let me just nip this in the bud. Let's get this out of the way real quick. I see this making the rounds, and let's talk about it. So something weird just went down in the stock market, and Wall Street is speculating it's the result of a fund liquidation. Business Insider. I'll read the bullet points. It covers, anytime you read a Business Insider article, all you really have to do is read the bullet points. And very much offense to Business Insider. It's a clickbait site for business. But anyway, a selling spree on Wall Street erased $35 billion from the values of stocks of major companies Friday. The sell-off appears to be in part of the result of forced liquidation of positions held by Archegos Capital Management, CNBC reported. Goldman Sachs liquidated $10.5 billion worth of stocks. In block trades, Bloomberg reported. We got a press release from Credit Suisse stating a significant U.S.-based hedge fund defaulted on margin calls last week by Credit Suisse and other certain banks following the failure of the fund to meet these margin commitments. Credit Suisse and a number of other banks are in the process of exiting these positions. Yada, yada, yada. Can't estimate the exact loss. And it was confirmed that it was Archegos. Never heard of it. Will never hear of it again, especially because they're dead and it's over. And so the rumors are swirling. What if this has something to do with GameStop? And I'm not going to bore you with the research that I did. I am quite certain that this has very little, if not nothing, to do with GameStop from what I've seen. So they don't disclose their books. But from the little bit that I've been able to see, the little bit of investigating that I've been able to do, it seems like this is connected, that a lot of their portfolio was 5x leveraged Chinese stocks. And that's all that I can say, really. I mean, I will continue to monitor this. I will continue to go to creditsuisse.com and see what they have to say with their press releases about this. But I don't think this is GameStop related. So with that in mind, why don't we talk about things that are GameStop related? So on my most recent live stream, on the second most recent live stream, I went to Carlos Trades at Rockstar_stocks Twitter account, where he put together on March 24th this it's really great research. I think that he's very close on this. He makes some predictions that end up, short-term predictions that end up not being accurate, but it's easy to overlook those in favor of the grand scheme. And so here's what Carlos Trades, if I want to summarize this, I think it's like 29 tweets on AMC and GameStop. Here's the best way for me to put it. At first, the hedge funds shorted GameStop itself. And that happened. They exited their GameStop shorts, and they went towards specific ETFs that had GameStop in it. And most notably XRT, which had at one point 140% short interest. And last I checked, that was down to 100%, but still XRT still being heavily shorted. And now they've gone on to shorting the Russell 2000, which is just mind-blowing. So they're shorting the entire stock market in a sense. And that is having an effect on the stock market. This has the potential to be detrimental short to mid-term to the stock market as a whole. And they're pulling out all their guns. They're doing whatever they can to prevent the mother of all short squeezes from happening. And this, when I read this tweet thread, whatever you want to call it, I was convinced. I was very convinced. It's apparent that whether or not this is their actual intention, that this is what they're doing. So it seems to me that, yes, it is their actual intention. And so what does that mean for the shenanigans? You by yourself? Yeah? Okay, go. I'm making a video. I'm not going to edit that out. Jordan, my favorite. My favorite. So anyway, what does that mean? It means to me, I mean, if they're going from GameStop to XRT to the Russell 2000, it's like, what do they have left? Now, I don't know, because they have our playbook. They can easily go to our GME, to Wall Street Bets, and see what we're talking about, and we don't know what they're doing, and it's really frustrating to think about that. And maybe they have some more bullets in the chamber, but I mean, if they're resorting to shorting the entire Russell 2000, then, man, it seems like they're getting desperate. And so keep that in mind. Check out Carlos Trades, his Twitter thread, his Twitter account. I'd recommend it. I started following him just to kind of support his cause. He's doing good work there. The other thing I want to talk about, this is really significant, and I'm sure, I don't know about you, but I've noticed this on days that the Dow and the NASDAQ in the S&P 500, on red days, there seems to be this inverse with GameStop, where GameStop performs well on red days for the Dow, for the stock market, and on green days for the stock market, GameStop performs poorly. And I noticed this. I don't know. I mean, I made some videos on that, some short videos just talking about what is going on with this. This is really weird. And so there's a term for that, and I want to talk about that. It's called beta. And so if you know what beta is already, then skip the next couple minutes here, but I'm going to read this part here. Beta is a measure of the stock's volatility in relation to the overall market. By definition, the market, such as the S&P 500, has a beta of 1, and individual stocks are ranked according to how much they deviate from the market. A stock that swings more than the market over time has a beta above 1. So in other words, let's say the S&P, let's say you have a stock with a beta of 2. That means the S&P 500, if the S&P 500 increases 1%, by the definition of a stock with a beta of 2, that stock would increase by 2%, etc. So a stock that swings more than that, then the market over time, has a beta above 1. If a stock moves less than the market, the stock's beta is less than 1. High beta stocks are supposed to be riskier but provide higher return potential. Low beta stocks pose less risk but also lower returns. And so theoretically, this is how it should work. The lowest score of beta should be 0, as in this stock has 0 correlation to the stock market. But then there is a possibility, when I'm talking about GameStop seeming to have an inverse correlation to the stock market, that means it has a negative beta. If the stock market performs well and GameStop performs poorly on a given day, that is a negative beta, and that really shouldn't be happening ever. But when that happens, that means that there's some kind of shenanigans going on. There's some kind of craziness going on. And so this post on RGME, I found very helpful. So let me just read this part. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I would recommend you check it out. The mythical unicorn, aka extremely abnormal. Any negative beta is extremely abnormal. So here we go. A beta of 0 means there's no correlation between the market and the stock. A beta of 1 means that the stock moves exactly the same as the market. E.g., if the market is up 10%, the stock is up 10%. A beta of more than 1 means that the stock amplifies the market's movement by that much. E.g., if the market is up 10%, then a +1 beta stock would go up 15%, etc. A beta of -1 is a perfect negative correlation. So the stock moves exactly the opposite of the market. If the market goes down 10%, the stock goes up 10%. And that's what I noticed about GameStop like over a month ago. And that's what I've been talking about. A beta of less than -1 or like -2, -3, etc. means this negative correlation is amplified. E.g., if the market goes down 10%, the stock goes up 15% or 20% or 30%, etc. An easy online source, the Investopedia page that I just went to. So check this out. Here are the historical beta of GME. Here is the historical beta of GME from Zacks. On March 31st of 2020, 0.45. June 30th, 1.038. September 30th, 1.084. December 31st, 1.404, And then all of a sudden, February 28th, minus 2.195. What happened? Shenanigans. Shenanigans happened. And so I'm not sure if this talks about it, but shortly after this post was made, when was this post made? 12 days ago. So people have been following the beta on GameStop. Oh, here we go. Update. Bloomberg currently at minus 8. So what is currently, I don't know, but a minus 8 beta for GameStop compared to the stock market. And I have been tracking this. I didn't necessarily want to talk about it, but now it is inevitable. I have to talk about this because I woke up this morning, I went to Bloomberg, and I saw this. Follow my mouse. All right, let me slide over here. Raw beta, negative 36.103. I pay attention to the adjusted beta. Adjusted beta, minus 23.735. That is insane. I don't know. I would love if you know of anything that's ever had an adjusted beta of minus 23 or more. And just even, not only even, maybe there's plenty of examples of that. The fact that on February 28th, less than a month ago, we were at minus 2. And then last week we were at minus 8. And now we're at minus 23 adjusted beta. I mean, listen, I'm done with endgame predictions. I'm done with saying that GameStop is going to hit $1,000 this Friday. But, we're talking about sustainability of Citadel, of all these hedge funds, the shenanigans that they're doing. How much longer do they have? This would seem to indicate to me that they don't have much longer. And not only that, I read somewhere that Citadel currently has a hiring freeze. And it seems to me that everything that I can read, not being able to read their playbook, that they're terrified right now, that they see the writing on the wall, that they know it's coming, and they're doing whatever they can to mitigate their losses, but that they're screwed. And so we'll see what the coming days bring for us. But my belief, which was already strong, that something crazy is going to happen with GameStop, has only been strengthened by what I'm reading right now. And I try as hard as I can to not be in an echo chamber, to not let the echo chamber affect me, but to just look at the numbers and see the trends and see the stock plummet after earnings and then bounce right back up the next day, that something is brewing. And so what is that something? We will just have to wait and see. And as always, your patience will be rewarded, but you've got to be patient. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you have a great day, a prosperous day. Look at Bitcoin. Watch my most recent Bitcoin video. I will be talking about that further on in the week. Let's ride these rockets to the moon. Peace.